What's happening, y'all? This is Andrew from Mirror Music 99, and I'm coming back to do another reaction video. You can see from my busted old headphones that I took from my daughter, and or borrowed really from my daughter, and the microphone and whatever setup. I'm trying a new setup. This is going to be for a shorter song, just to make sure that all the setup works and stuff like that, because I would be really heartbroken if I did a Grateful Dead video and it was 35 minutes worth of recording or something like that, and then it didn't work out well. So I've done some tests. It seems to be working okay, so fingers crossed. This video is probably one that, if we're being real, not a whole lot of people are going to watch. But it's a band. It's an artist called Monrovia, who's from the Tennessee Mountains, Appalachian Mountains. He's an African ukulele player, which sounds bizarre, but the songs that he's put out this year are just extraordinary, extraordinary. And I haven't, we don't really have the kind of following yet on Mirror Music to like put new artists on, to kind of amplify their whatever. But that's something that I'd really like to do with this channel. So really, this song is called "A City on the Hill." It was just released today. And I really love it, so I'm going to share it with you. I've only heard it once, though, so this is sort of a first take reaction, a little bit. Anyway, so here we go.
Cried yourself to sleep, I know, lonely under these sheets, 'cause you've tried to make yourself seen through a field of green, but it's overgrown.
Listen to that. Like he said, you cried yourself to sleep. You're trying to make yourself seen through a field of green, but it's overgrown, man. That's, yeah, the sense of overwhelmed there is, beautiful is not the word I want to use, but it is compelling, for sure.
If it all came true, when you've seen it all through, you look back at the footprints on the path. Where does that leave you?
Where does that leave you, man?
Can you be still?
It sounds like some Ed Sheeran.
Only silence can feel. Where you are is all that's real. When you're there, remember how it feels.
I don't know, man. Like, this makes me feel good, right? Like, even if you're not paying attention to the words, which are beautiful so far, like, the feel of it is just like a deep breath, right?
Who do you have left when it all goes bad? Who is by your side when the fire subsides and it rains in your head?
Oh, this is about depression, or I mean, it's something psychological. Like when the fire subsides and it's all in your head. Now we'll go back a little bit. I'll make sure I get those words right.
Who is by your side?
Who is by your side
when the fire subsides?
When the fire subsides
and it rains in your head.
And it rains in your head. Man, that's you can't see the image that's on the screen now with this video or whatever. I mean, it's not a video. It's just like an image, and it's a man standing with a fire like burning behind him. So yeah, when it rains in your head, so the fire and the rain juxtaposition, I don't want to be like, it's very James Taylor. I mean, but like famously, that's one of his famous songs. But it's, I don't know, there's a sense of having gone through something here too, right? A sense of having gone through something, and then now there's peace on the other side.
Did you leave your mark?
Did you leave your mark?
Can they catch your spark?
Can they catch your spark? Which goes back to the fire before, right?
Did you trade your torch for silver fork and a life in the dark?
You trade your torch for a life in the dark.
There's a void, only silence can
There's a
fill.
void only silence can
Where you
fill.
are, it's all that's real. When you're there, remember.
We gotta go back to that idea. There's a void only silence can fill. Like, I mean, there's that peaceful feeling, right? But it's also not a sermon exactly, but it's telling you something, right? It's telling you something important, that you have to be able to be okay with yourself and be able to sit there with all the stuff coming in at you from the outside and going on inside your head, um, to feel peace, right? There's a void only silence can fill. That's a fun, not a fun, a beautiful metaphor, because a void is an emptiness, right? Um, and silence, we usually think of in our society anyway, as something that's empty too, right? Something that there's the absence of noise. But in this song, the silence is doing the filling. It's in kind of the way that a darkness would fill it, or light would fill a space, right? It's a silence is not a tangible thing. It's not something you can touch. So we don't think of it as something that could fill a space. Um, but but yeah, you have to be able to sit with something for a little while, right? To make it work out.
How it feels. Alone in your city on
Alone in the city on the hill.
alone in your city on
Is silence and aloneness, in this case, something that's peaceful and joyful, or is it something that you should try to avoid?
alone in your city on a hill.
I really love that so much, because he's playing with that juxtaposition, that contrast, right, between um, emptiness and fullness, between silence and sound. I mean, it's a song about silence. It's not quite The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, but like, it is playing with the idea of talking about the sound of silence, but it is music, right? It is literally sound. Um, and being alone on a city in the city on a hill, but also um, needing people around you too. Obviously, a city on a hill, biblically or metaphorically, biblically, is heaven, right? Like that. That's what they call. That's one of the things, or the one of the phrases they use to describe heaven. So, as a city on a hill. Um, so there's a lot going on here. I would have to actually listen with the lyrics pulled up in front of me. I don't obviously don't have that right now. I'm just doing it off the top of my head as we go. Um, but yeah, man, this guy Monrovia says on Instagram and other places. I'll put his Instagram handle in the doobly doo in the thing down below, the description. But um, he says he wants to be Bob Ross or Fred Rogers or Mr. Rogers of music, and maybe that's one of the things that resonates with me a lot, because I love both of those artists, both of those men, um, and I sort of, deep down inside, want to be that kind of voice for this space too, because I don't want to do hot takes here. I don't want to do a bunch of yelling at each other. I don't want to. I just want to talk about things that I love, right? And talk about and learn about things that are new to me, and share stuff that I enjoy with all of you too. Um, for my part of this channel, anyway. And when obviously when Coop and I talk together, we're trying to bring people together who would not necessarily listen to those kinds of music, and show that we're all a whole lot more similar than people would think. So, yeah, this song gives me that feel anyway. The Fred Rogers, Bob Ross, the just just the feeling of peace, right? And the feeling of an earned peace, like one where you've walked through something difficult and have come out on the other side in a more beautiful space. So, Monrovia, I don't know if you're going to watch this video. I hope you do. If not, um, I guess whether you do or not, it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song, and I hope lots of people listen to it and lots of people feel what I feel. So take care, y'all. I'll see y'all next time.